JJ Reddick was on First Take episode February 20th, and this is what he had to say about friend of the show, Doc Rivers.
I've seen the trend for years.
What's the trend?
The trend is always making excuses. Doc, we get it. Taking over a team in the middle of the season is hard. It's hard. We get it. Just like getting traded in the middle of the season is hard for a player. We get it. But it's always an excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. Then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that. Accountability.
Well, let me say a couple of things. Number one, that's a very serious thing to say, and we should take it serious. Because we should take it serious.
You can take it serious.
He seemed pretty serious.
Let me finish. You should take it serious. Play for him. So for you to say something like that, it matters. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to say this because Doc Rivers needs to hear, and I got love for him, but he needs to hear this. Okay, just go out there and coach. Because here's the deal: you were in an advisor's role in Milwaukee. Now you head. You brought that up. And the more you talk about how difficult this is, the more it brings attention to, wait a minute. Nobody's trying to hear that. Got the job, go win. Go win. Yeah. It's just that simple. Because it didn't happen in LA all of those years. Didn't happen in Philadelphia. And now, I've said this, JJ, the second he got the job. If Doc Rivers doesn't, I'm not talking about because he came in there halfway through. But if Doc Rivers, between this year and next season, doesn't win, I think it'll be his last head coaching job in the NBA.
Man, we said that last time, bro.
We said that, man. We said that like 5 times ago. I ain't gonna lie. That boy told Doc, the best advice I can give you is to win games. All right, bro.
No, he didn't even say that. He said, just coach.
Just coach. just keep clocking in.
Now, this comes off the heels of Cock Rivers doing exactly what we told him to do. Exactly what we told him to do. Coach. We said, no. We said on this podcast that we should go, our coaches should go on different platforms and just tell the truth. They should just spill the beans, let people know their actual absolute perspectives. Be truthful, call people out, because coaches are the first ones to blame. Their heads are always on the chopping block, et cetera, et cetera. And so he does that. Doc essentially does that. And I'm about to play the clip. But I'm not going to lie. What makes this so bad is that Doc Rivers doesn't have too many fans left. Like, from his ex-player's perspective, JJ Reddick was like one of the last guys. He was one of the last guys that was a true, legitimate fan of Doc Rivers. But it looks like he just lost him. Let me see if I can find these comments, but let me riff for a second. How do y'all feel about what JJ said before I play his stuff?
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, from part 1 of the feud, it's like, if I don't know how much Doc has necessarily pushed off. We're about to find that out. But if Doc is just out here not taking any accountability, that's just one of them things where you don't realize you're the common denominator. And I don't like that. Like, at the end of the day, I ain't had a hug since 2nd grade. I can talk about how this girl was a hoe. I can talk about how this girl just wanted bread. I can talk about this girl's having Twitter brain, all that shit. But eventually, if there's something wrong with everyone else but me, take a look in the mirror, gang.
From everything that I've seen, and maybe this is a little bit too far into the convo right now, I just find it very ironic, I guess, that everyone who has tried to counter JJ has not countered his point whatsoever. It has all been about, JJ, you played for this guy. How could you say that? And the closest thing to actually attacking the point is what Austin Rivers said, but even he didn't really attack the point. Like, he brought up a different point. So, and the only clip that I seen from Doc Rivers was literally him detailing his coaching history and blaming everyone else. He was like, yeah, I mean, when I was with the Clippers, I blew a 3-1 lead, but people don't want to talk about how Chris Paul was injured the first 2 games. First 2 games, You bringing up the first 2 games when you blew a 3-1 lead?
First 2 games, a 3-1 lead. That nigga said we really should have swept them. Right,
the only thing he said, I forgot what he said about the Orlando days, but he was like,
I got the video up.
Yeah.
Second, but you finish your point.
Yeah, no, it was just funny to me that JJ may be wrong, but all I've seen is nothing has really attacked this point for real. So he's right till he's wrong. I don't know.
Let me play this before you. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I just wanted to get it out before pause before the clip started. I have no issue. Hold on, the mic is too far. I have no issue with what Doc did. I believe, hey man, coaches need to go out there and blame somebody because, I mean, everyone blames them. Anytime something goes wrong, the coach is quick to get blamed. So and all I hope is that he's being honest about if he is blaming somebody, because I haven't seen all of the clip. I've seen him talking about it for real, and I've seen the comments around it. So I don't even know necessarily what exactly he said or who he blamed. All I would hope is, outside of the Chris Paul thing, which is crazy, you blaming game 1 and 2 when you blew a 3-1 lead. Insane. But if he's blaming attitudes or locker room stuff or anything where it's like we didn't know that, I'm all for it. And I also want to say that JJ is speaking strictly from a ex-player's perspective, an ex-player of the God's perspective. That was not ESPN JJ. That was
not at all.
former Clipper JJ. That was livid with him. So
I ain't ever missed the playoffs, JJ. So, shit.
Yeah, that was a different JJ.
So
even though I feel like JJ was on the right, I don't think Doc was wrong. Go ahead.
Let's get into the meat and the potatoes, the actual meat and potatoes. This is where it kind of starts. Doc Rivers talking about how he got his job in Milwaukee.
Personally, I'll be honest. I told our owners when they called, I said, I think I don't understand why you're doing this. And they said, one of the things they said was, well, it doesn't matter. We've done it now, and
oh my God,
we want you. And so that was a tough one. That's where you had the hesitation. Personally.
Now, I've heard stories about Doc Rivers in the past, specifically about like from Ty Lue. And I just assumed he was a realer. He was a real one. Like he was a realer nigga than this, basically. Don't take that job. I know it's a lot of money to turn down. I know it's a lot of, you might get a lot of heat, a lot of backlash. Don't take that job. If you truly are genuine about that's my friend. That is a guy that I've consulted. He's one of the black coaches I'm looking out for, et cetera, et cetera. Don't take that job. But that's just me. That's my perspective. He goes on in that same interview to act like he was right about everything. Did y'all know that he told the Clippers to trade for James Harden?
He also consulted the Clippers, apparently. Yes.
Yeah.
The Clippers. Wait. He told the Clippers to trade for James Harden as he's the coach of the Sixers.
Hey.
Oh, so he knew he was done. That's crazy.
That's
he
Doc
knew
Paul,
he was
bro.
on the way out. That's wild.
That's Docstradamus. Now, mind you, hold on. It gets even crazier. It gets even crazier because he also looked at Kawhi and said, "This is when he was coaching the Clippers. Hey, are you sure you want to get Paul George? We have this Shea Gilgeous-Alexander guy."
There's an imposter among us. There's an imposter among us.
Is that real? He said that?
That's real. That's what he said. You didn't see that?
Emergency meeting.
Nah, that's the one I didn't
Emergency
see.
meeting.
He said Doc Rivers revealed he attempted to influence Kawhi Leonard's perspective on SGA, his potential. I even brought it up to Kawhi. Are you sure? I think Shea is going to be an amazing player. It may take a year or two, but I think you're underestimating how good Shea's going to be.
Damn, he's so misunderstood, bro. He's been dry jacked.
Low key, I like this. So this goes to the theory of, hey man, these players really be out here playing GM, man. Unless he lying. Unless Kawhi come out and tell the media that's not what happened. I mean, is Doc a liar? If you think Doc's a liar, cool, Omar. Think Doc's lying. But me personally, that nigga ain't lied to me.
That's a different perspective.
I think we blame coaches too much.
You know who name
front office players?
You know who name him a lie on? Kawhi Leonard. He ain't never gonna come out and say, "Damn thing."
This is my city now. All right, dog.
Yeah,
single billboard when I was out there.
That
buddy.
was the name to say. Yeah, I was trying to talk to him.
That was a big brain play
he wasn't
right there.
responding, bro. I don't know.
That was a big brain play by Doc. I ain't gonna lie. If he is lying, You picked a good lie, my nigga. You picked
Shit, I was talking to Zubak the other day, and
He said,
Zubak.
like Paul George would have went on his podcast and talk. You know, James a bitch. He talk every day, so you know it is what it is.
SGA would have talked one day.
Yeah,
He only like
professionally.
24.
But you know who's not gonna talk?
Kawhi,
Kawhi
motherfucker.
Leonard.
Kawhi about to pop out in 20 years on the podcast. Y'all remember that season where Doc just got halfway through the season, got his job? I know he lied, right? He ain't never talked to me about SGA.
Oh my god.
So some of this stuff is what caused JJ. I'm trying to go through it.
4-year-old, bro.
Some of this stuff is what caused JJ to just jump off the porch like that and talk about his accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Now they pulled up the Carfax on Doc. I ain't gonna lie. When they say he doesn't hold himself accountable, this is what they meant right here.
I wish y'all would tell the whole story with me. All right. My Orlando team was the 8th seed. No one gives me credit for getting up against the Pistons who won the title. That was the 8th seed. I dare you to go back and look at that roster, and you would say, "Not a hell of a coaching job." The Clipper team that we lost. Chris Paul didn't play in the first 2 games and was playing on one leg. And we didn't have home court. And then the last one, to me, is the one we blew. That's the one I said, we blew that. But that was in the bubble. And anything can happen in the bubble. There's no home court. You know, but it just happened. Wish y'all would tell the whole story.
Oh, you didn't say no. Doc, I ain't gonna lie. Round 2 goes to JJ Reddick because I'm not gonna lie. He pulled not even what like we be doing sometimes. He just literally said, "Okay, this is every reason why I'm gonna say it's not my fault." But shit just be happening, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like no, bro. You perfectly explained the flaw. And then the counter to the flaw was that team was just that damn good. Like, I don't know, bro. The Pistons were just that good. Like, what do you want me to do? When we blew the 3-1 lead, well, it's not like we swept them. Chris Paul was down. What do you want me to do? When that other time we blew a 3-1 lead.
M-I-C-K-E.
Like, shut up, Doc. I ain't gonna lie. Shut up, Doc, man. That's crazy. Game 2 good as JJ.
It's one thing to sit there and say, "Oh man, I mean, we didn't have home court advantage." No one talks about that. We went up 3-1, but we didn't have home court, so it was adversity.
Maybe.
If you want to say that, if you're a person that believes in home court advantage, fine. I'll listen to you argue. I am not about to listen to a coach sit there and say, "You know what no one give me the credit for? Having an 8th seed and coaching good." Nigga, what? He was the 8th seed. No one talks about that. No one talks about how good of a coach job I did for a team that's 8th seed. Nigga, that is your job. That is, you wanted credit for doing. I take care of my kids. Good job, nigga. That's what you're supposed to do. You want credit for what you're supposed to do? No. What are we talking? You want to add a boy for coaching an 8th seed? That's how you know he is. If there's one nigga that listens to the media and social media's perception of him, it's fucking Doc Rivers. Because that was a shot at everyone. Bro, you can go back to the Magic days. He ain't never been shit. I was coaching the 8th seed. And no one talks about it. Like, all right,
There's not some Clipper series that he's forgetting because didn't they lose?
There's tons of them.
He talked about 1 year with the Clippers. He talked about one series.
Yeah, and then also weren't they?
He lost
the
to Corey
Rockets.
Brewer and Josh Smith.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Weren't y'all up in Boston a couple times on Miami and they came back? I think it was like 3-2 though. But
Yeah, game 6, that was a closeout game for us, and LeBron dicked us down. Like, yeah.
I'm just presenting it. I just don't know.
Game 7, 2010, Game 7 in the finals. That was winnable.
Well,
Too much on
Ron
Josh Smith.
Artest.
No. Way too much on Josh Smith and fucking
Houston!
like, no, bro, no. That game, I feel like some of y'all too young, bro. That game was nuts.
well, like I said earlier, he doesn't have too many defenders. If you ever listen to All the Smoke, Matt, that's one reason why I do like listening to All the Smoke. Matt Barnes do not care. Okay. The other players on the team, I've heard DJ say a couple, little slight jabs, Blake or whatever. Now JJ,
I think Pierce and KG are still Doc fans.
they're pretty. They are still pretty high on him. But you know who's always gonna be high on him? Room on that Yamaha, chromed out 1100. What I'm doing, getting money. What we doing, getting money. Right? What they doing, hating on us, but they never cross. Cash money still accompanying. Bitch, I'm the boss, and I'm just stunned like my daddy.
That was a nasty way
You know his son's gonna come to his defense.
Good.
Don't be talking about my pa, right? Oh, I can't really play this like this. I can't play that like that. Oh.
First off, I don't feel responsible to take up for my dad. He's a grown man. He could do his own thing.
You proceed to go on a 2-minute monologue. You don't feel responsible for your daddy.
In this regard, I just simply don't agree with it. For someone who's not accountable, he seems to always be held responsible, considering he's the guy that's always fired when things don't go right. He got fired in the bubble for a 3-1 lead versus the Denver Nuggets, which in half his team didn't want to be. Mine wasn't there. He had guys.
Is this what
you're down that second half. You're down, but you got second half. Let's get it going. Let's it's not a blowout. It's not a blowout. 10-point lead. 10-point lead. 10-point lead.
Leave. That happened. Then he gets fired for losing to a team that was favored over him, which was the Celtics last year. It seems like he's always responsible.
All right, bro.
It's just strange coming from JJ. And I have some love for JJ. You're my dookie. You know that. You're my bro. I love you. It's just your best years were with the Clippers. I don't think he saved your career. I appreciate you, Pat. But I don't think it – I mean, this just seems a little bit weird. They're 3-7. Dame has missed most of those games. Middleton's missed a lot of those games. They haven't even had their full team yet. We'll see what happens. The pressure is there. They do have to perform. But in terms of accountability, like, what are we doing here? Your best years in the NBA were when you played for him in the Clippers. Let's not forget that. I don't know if there's like frustration there or there's tension there between you. I know a lot of times we had to sit you towards the end of the game due to defensive reasons.
I give him a game. I give him a game.
Not too much now.
Hey, hold on. I told you the game weren't over. That's 2-1.
You guys have to slide that in there.
If you see how this plays out, I don't know if you're able to take away games.
I ain't say the series. I said a game. He ain't get swept.
I know the outcome, but it just hits. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey.
In the moment, yeah.
What do I say about Joan and no motherfuckers? Hey, sometimes you just gotta be fucking funny. And in this case, hey, that was
low key. Low key, it's gonna sound crazy, but you know how people on Twitter, like, if you arguing with a fat person, all they're gonna say is, "Yeah, but you're fat," and it really don't be here. But then sometimes it's like, damn, I ain't gonna
make AI pictures.
Yeah, they got you. They got you. Let's keep playing it though. I ain't gonna lie, they got him.
But you had your best years as a starter there, especially our whole system was drafted around you because you're a shooter. You're not a guy who could put the ball on the floor. You were a strictly shoot guy. You're not like Klay Thompson or Steph who could put the ball on the floor. You were a guy who could catch and shoot. And you did it at a high level. Hell of a career, by the way. Big fan. But your best years were under him. It's just very ironic and kind of weird that you have this energy towards him in terms of him never, ever being accountable, considering he's always been responsible.
Nah, I would defend my daddy too. I ain't gonna lie. I really don't smoke for Austin Rivers. I'm defending my dad. Fuck all y'all bitches. Okay.
No more games played, or we got more clips?
No,
we got more clips. All right, yeah, 2-1.
Here's game 6, game 7. We're in game 6, game 7.
Give me your new challenger. Give me your new challenger. Sage, give me your.
Here comes a new challenger.
So not only does Doc have his son, you gotta have your son, man. If you don't got your son, he ain't got nobody.
Okay.
You Joe Jackson.
In comes the teacher's pet. Now look. Not too much on Mr. Johnson.
Bro.
What the fuck?
Yo, this guy right here.
This guy missed the podcast, bro. I swear.
So Pat Beverly really was the first one to fire back, right? Pat Beverly was really the first one to fire back. And I think the tweets came before the podcast clip, if I'm not mistaken. His tweets came before his podcast clip, and then he went on the podcast, right? I think that's the story, the timing. So Patrick Beverly gets on, Patrick Beverly gets on Twitter to respond to JJ or whatever the case may be, and he says, "Is it the right one? This is the right one." It's not the right one. I think that was not AI porn. He says, this man Doc actually saved your career.
Oh shit.
Started you when no one else wanted to. And you retire, go on TV and say that? At JJ Reddick? Now, I'll personally say this is some projecting from Pat Beverly.
Hey, I'm gonna call it a 5-point first quarter lead. We call him a little lead. Let's see if he loses it.
Is totally a fringe NBA guy. Like
100%.
Hanging on by a super thread.
You value that, especially the way he got drafted. He'd be the type to value.
Not even that, even in the peak of his career, where you could argue, and was he on those Clipper teams when Doc was coaching? Doc was there when he was.
I think the year before Kawhi and PG came, that was like the Patrick Beverly, Lou Will Clippers. Crazy.
Crazy.
Oh
no, that might be Ty Lue coaching. Right? Oh no, I think it was Doc. I think it was Doc.
The bubble, he was definitely on that team, and Doc was there.
I was talking about like the hay years.
Yeah, you're talking about 2017-18 or 18-19?
2017-18 is what I'm talking about.
Let me see. So at 17, when was that playoff year? I know what you're talking about. Oh, 18-19. Sorry, he was. Oh, hold on. Sorry, says
he was on it. He was on it from 17-18. 18-19.
He was there.
Another year. He was.
Doc was there the whole time. What I was getting by that was saying the way that Pat is talking to JJ Reddick, I agree with Omar, feel like projecting because it feels like Pat is talking to a nigga he views as himself, and he's talking to him in the lens of how Doc probably did his career. Because pretty fair to say, Pat, when Doc was starting you, nigga, no one else wanted to start you. That niggas hated Pat Bev. Like he was always one of those. Oh yeah. If he's on your team, you love him. If you're going against him, you hate him. A lot of niggas was not trying to start Pat Bev. Like he was a cool little role player, scrappy little guy, play some defense.
Little guy's crazy.
But I mean, I can say that I'm taller than him. But
oh my god,
I'm just saying, you're talking about yourself, and I don't think that you should be talking to JJ the way you're talking to him, buddy, because JJ was not in that situation. Like I think JJ could have went other places and still started, buddy. I don't know about that.
Well, Damo, JJ Reddick also agrees with you because he follows that up with, Pat, my guy, I had a 4-year offer with player options for the same money to be a starter for a different team.
Fuck and out. We come out of the half. JJ takes an 8-point lead. What a swing. Oh, is that the end of the game? Oh, Jay, that's
no. There's more.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's the class coming, buddy.
Okay, you know. Hey. It is about to be crazy because my guy JJ is never done. So that part happens, right? And then Pat Beverly, you know, he's gonna keep going. He got to get his get back. He has got to get his get back for this one. He goes on his podcast, you know, with Roan, with his white guy, and sits down with RJ. Of course, they got to talk about it. You know, they got you guys know they got to talk about it, right? Right.
I think they do the pod and upload.
Eyes than you. 289 half-court matchups, 21 for 56 shooting by Harden as contesting defender. 38% field goal percentage, 43 EFG. 0.94 points per direct ISO allowed on 37 ISOs. And if I guess that's getting torched. And if I'm not mistaken, that's when James was like flirting with 1 point something or whatever in the regular season. But I guess that's getting torched.
That's oh man, that if there's no respond there, that's a 5-game series for JJ Reddick, ladies and gentlemen. I will be honest. I feel like the naysayers of JJ, they pulled a lot of good cards. They had a couple of gotchas, but that's what I talk about when I say gotchas go too far. Because one, we never talked about Doc's accountability. At some point, this turned into the career of JJ Reddick. And he was like, my career doesn't suck. I don't know what we're doing.